Listen.
Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, I'm David Collins, host of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show.
Well, if we were all ready to play. And of course, that sound means it's time for David Collins call-ins and emails. I'm seeing fish jump around me here, too. This email here comes in from Holga in Winnipeg. She wrote in and said, "Hey, David, what are some of your favorite pranks?" Hey there, I'm David Collins. And thanks so much for emailing the show. This is my list of my favorite top 5 pranks. Number 5 is a bit of a prop gag, actually. It's one where you get a fake ice tray, or an ice tray that's too small for another ice tray, and then you put it in the freezer and wait until somebody puts that ice tray on top of their ice tray, and it displaces all the water in the bottom ice tray. That's a pretty good prank. Number 4, this is one that you do over the phone. You might be sitting around one day and you call a friend and you say, "Hey, what are you up to?" And then they start explaining what they're up to, and you hang up. That's a great prank. Number 3 is one that I came up with pretty recently. I'm pretty happy about it here. You go up to a buddy and you say, "Hey, could I bum a cigarette?" And they'll hand you your pack of cigarettes here, and you take out a cigarette and you light it, and then you put it back in the pack and hand it back to him. Probably one of my newest favorite pranks there. Number 2 is a handshake prank. You go to shake somebody's hand, and then you just let your hand fall limp. And number 1 on my top 5 list of pranks this week, you walk up behind somebody and you put your hand in their hood. And then you don't put anything in their hood, and they'll keep checking their hoodie and say, "What did you put in there?" It's a great prank. China163 emailed the show and said,
"Good morning, everybody." What did she say? This is a solo episode today. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. May 27th. We're marking 2 weeks from the pre-records that we have banked up there for June 10th through the next 6 weeks when I have my son. A little Dark Olin this morning, royalty-free music. So I thought we would, I was looking through, I put all the David Collins 30-minute half-hour show episodes into playlists by seasons, so a little more watchable on the YouTube channel. While I was doing that, I thought, why don't I, this Wednesday, instead of the secret show, or instead of having some guys over, because the booking's a little, and then the prep. Although we have a little water cooler talk this morning. But anyway, I thought for today we'd just have some great clips from David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. Some 10-minute segments, some 2-minute segments. But we'll just go through some of those over the next hour and a half. I got the live chat here. Unfortunately, no phone this week. I didn't get any minutes. But here we are. Cheers. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. I have a little orange juice here. But yeah, I have some clips from great guests, some great moments. We're going to watch some of the Blind Mike episode today, the last 10 minutes, I think. I like the top 10 list on that episode. I had some more updates, but I can't really remember any right now. It's pretty early. Kind of struggled to get up today. I gotta move a big couch chair today. It's not like a big couch chair today, but I'm going to be picking it up. It's for my wife's birthday. This music always goes on longer than I expect. But yeah, maybe I'll remember if I had anything I wanted to say. Oh yeah, we got a little water cooler talk this morning. Might save this for the pre-records here. This didn't even have any audio, so but anybody visually, there's this was some sort of video here called police overwhelmed by teenagers at Chicago beaches. But you could see there's just a bunch of people around. Like, they didn't expect crowds on a warm day. So I don't know what exactly, if there were incidents. Somebody got hit by a car. We have a bit of a news story here. Probably go over some of this with Todd and Vic when I get them for the pre-record. I'm sure they'll
teenagers, right? I know.
So here's some, I don't know. This is some city official for Chicago.
Mechanism cannot just be with teenagers, right? I know where my son was at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mayor Johnson is calling on parents to be more responsible after 5 police officers are in.
It was weird, the first clip talking about a teen takeover. It was all during the daytime. But once you get to 3 a.m., it gets a little more serious, I guess.
Injured in a teen takeover. WGN's
Sounds fun.
Andrea Medina has our top story.
When I was these kids' age, I would just get in a car with a couple of buddies and we'd smoke weed. We wouldn't go take over the city of Chicago.
Neighbors say they were completely blindsided by what unfolded overnight, calling it a relentless, unpredictable scene.
Neighbors.
That
What
left
kind of
many
neighborhood are we
feeling
in?
Uneasy and unable to get any sleep. A massive crowd of teens took over the streets near 13th and Troop in the Little Italy neighborhood Saturday night into Sunday morning, filling
These Italians have never heard such rowdy people.
sidewalks, intersections,
Italy.
and blocks.
When I say that
They had a
were,
calling.
it looked like millions of kids out here. Kids were all on top of their cars. They were stopping in the middle of the street, twerking, and it was ridiculous.
Neighbors, some just returning from late night shifts, others already settling in for the evening, described the scene became increasingly chaotic between Troop and Loomis Streets along Roosevelt Road, eventually shutting down the area.
Good street names, keeping it local. Anyway, we'll probably go through. I'll probably just hold on to that clip here. We got Black Brendan Schaub.
He's pushing the crowd away when this happened. And unfortunately, this vehicle just drove through and hit several police officers and teens. And it turned real bad. And then even after the fact, there were a lot of kids out. They were hanging out and partying.
Well, they probably didn't hear about it, or they were celebrating that they weren't hit. But anyway, yeah, there was some 18-year-old driver too. All right, let's get into some episodes of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show here. This first poll, well, we're going to watch 10 minutes of the Carl episode, the first 10 minutes, mainly because I wanted to go through a couple of world news segments. Thought we'd just listen through a couple of world news segments. But one of my favorite things are some of the cold opens that I started doing in season 2 of DC. I think the later half, but this is with Johnny O. I like these. And this is the famous room with Ray DeVito, too. This is a hot mic room. You got to be careful in this room.
Cool. Ready? Shake your hands not to do not disturb. You shake on quick.
Wow, that's great. They can learn live.
Yeah, but what if we're talking and they're like, hey, John?
Well,
Then what?
that then everybody knows it's real.
Oh, okay.
David Authenticity Collins.
Right.
30 minutes. Show with David Collins.
Yeah, that was with Johnny O there. I was watching myself on the screen while waiting for me to say something, but that's me live. Yeah. Everybody remembers when Delicious and I drove to Boston and Rochester to try to get some reality show footage and do an episode with Carl Hamburger. That was nice. And this is a cold open and then a little world news. We'll stop it after the world news and go to the next. But yeah.
Okay.
Happy May 27th, everybody.
I'm sure what we're talking about right now, but I believe you.
Why don't we get started here?
All right, let's do it.
Carl was very nice. He bought us breakfast. He never put up any guff for, being full DC for a 4-day road trip. He very much enjoyed it and played along. Throughout breakfast, too. Which is funny, too. David Collins is a much more regular dude than Delicious. So I'm traveling with a real-life character.
David Collins. 30 minutes.
Anyway,
David Collins.
that was fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. I'm your host, David Collins, and boy, do we have a special episode for you today, live from Rochester, New York.
Live from New York.
Boy, what a great show. Great games, a great guest, and a lot more of today's show. Really looking forward to it. Of course, before we start that, though, everybody's favorite, color of the day. Today's color of the day, rust brown. Today we're recording from Rochester, New York. The Rochester flag is made of 3 colors, blue, white, and yellow. In the middle of their flag sits a crane. The crane represents vigilance. Did you know that in Sandhill, Michigan, the cranes actually dye their feathers? They dye their gray feathers the color of rust brown using the surrounding mud. In honor of the crane and Rochester, New York, today's color of the day, Rust brown.
Way too much research went into the color of the day today.
Well, it's always important, and it's a lot of people's favorite part of the show.
Understood.
And I don't think that was a lot of research,
It seemed
though.
like a lot to me.
You take a look at the Rochester flag, you do a little learning about it there.
I mean, we were bouncing around to Michigan for a while. It seemed like there was a lot going on. But
The Crane, do you know anything about that Rochester
I
flag?
don't. I didn't know we had a flag.
There's a lot of mystery about the origins of that flag. In the 40s, there were 3 of these floating around. Anyway, today's sponsor of the show.
I told you, too much research.
We're here, of course, in Rochester.
And he's doing a lot of mean mugging to Delicious in the background, over sitting on this nice couch behind this purple pool table in the basement there. He surprising to be so adversarial on this episode. We had such a pleasant breakfast. He wasn't like that at all. Upstairs, I didn't really spend much time upstairs. I went in through the front door. He showed me downstairs. We get down to the studio. Delicious at one point had to use the restroom. I think Carl was kind of uncomfortable by that question, but he just sent him upstairs blindly and kind of gave him directions where the bathroom is. I never met Carl's wife, but Delicious during that trip to the bathroom randomly ran into Carl's wife upstairs, and I just remember this awkward, who are you? Just imagine Delicious walking around your house.
Rochester, New York, on our way to Boston. And sponsoring that trip and sponsoring today's episode, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show and our new Patreon. And really looking forward to some of the content that we have on that Patreon here. But let's take a little listen to today's ad read.
David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. That's right, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. Featuring great guests like Andy Fiore, KP Burke, and Cardiff Electric.
Never heard of these guys.
Hey, Joey, relax. And soon to include Joey LaFleur and John Knopf.
Oh, is that the Juggalo?
David's firing from KMKF hasn't slowed him down a bit. David's been known as a bit of a hot interviewer, so you know you can trust this is a place you'll only get the facts.
Wow. If that's the Juggalo, I apologize.
And
Love you.
maybe even a well-timed joke. Check out David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show wherever you find podcasts.
How much do they pay?
And email the show, dc30minutehallhour@gmail.com.
Pretty good.
Pretty
You
good.
deserve it.
Not really
Dragon Drink money, but you know.
That's David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. Check out David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show.
That guy's. I was doing a goof against Devin, trying to trash that guy. But he's actually really good.
And thank you, Devin Costa and the Hate Watch podcast, for that ad read, of course. Check out patreon.com/David Collins 30-minute half-hour show.
Listen, I don't want to screw up your plugs, which seems to be most of what this show is, but that email
just
address.
The beginning. I think a lot of people start the show with just a sponsor and plugging the things and it's called housekeeping.
I wasn't critiquing you, but I wanted to ask you about the email address, because obviously people want to email the show.
DC 30-minute half-hour
When you say 30 minutes, is it 30 or is it spelled out 30?
30, of course.
It's a great question.
I mean, I would want to say that maybe in the ad read, so people know. Because 30 could be written 2 different ways.
That's
and now
true.
you're asking them to guess.
But in all our social medias and the show, it's some great advice.
How many emails have you gotten from big celebrities that you never got because they typed it in wrong?
You'd be surprised.
I would be.
We get a lot of great emails here.
Good.
Boy, we do have a great guest for you today. We're going to get today's show started off, as usual, with World News with David Collins. And you've already kind of jumped the gun here, but I do like to ask, when we have a guest on the show and we're talking about world news, what do you think about when you think about world news?
Oh, I just think about how everything's going very well in the Middle East.
I'm sorry to interrupt, because you in fact interrupted. Today's guest is Carl Hamburger.
What was happening in the Middle East during this time? I can't even remember.
And then I'd like to get into world news there. So that's kind of how we generally segue the show there. You were talking about a news story.
Yeah.
Months before October 7th.
Did you hear about the women and the draft, the story last week here? What did you hear about this draft news?
I heard that they're going to reinstate the draft in America.
Well, something like that. Congress renewed their annual defense authorization bill last week, adding women being forced to sign up for the draft.
Good.
And I did hear something about that maybe bringing back the draft there. They've also made it, now it's going to be done electronically, so you don't even have the ability to protest the draft. Isn't that interesting?
Well, can't you electronically protest?
I also read that given the state of our youth, ages 18 to 25, and their health condition, that there may only contain a potential of 7 rounds of the draft if we were to reinstate it right now.
What does that mean? What do you mean their health condition? Is there a lot of mental health issues with that age group?
Well, probably weight, mental health. That's probably why they call it the draft, though, and not a gust.
See, you said at the beginning there'd be some jokes. You weren't lying.
I don't think I gave you any warning about the.
Oh.
There may be some jokes there.
I'll admit, they're not the strongest jokes in this
Of course,
episode.
The ad read there. What a great ad read.
It was good.
The presidential debates just passed.
Do you think women will be good on the front line? Are you happy about this?
Oh, I imagine they'll be flying the drones.
Oh, God damn, they get all the good jobs.
Right.
It's not cool.
Do you think they'll be good at that?
Well, I was hoping they'd be more like Operation Human Shield. Would be probably a good role.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, we usually prefer people don't do their material on the show.
Good point.
Presidential debates, though.
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. What did you think about it?
Well, the debate took place on CNN last Thursday, June 27th, between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. The moderators were Jake Tapper and Dana Bash.
Yeah. Yep.
And there was some controversy about Jake Tapper being one of the moderators.
Not a Trump guy, that Jake Tapper.
Right. Well, personally, I'm glad that for Biden's sake, that they had a Tapper on stage.
To keep him awake. Terrible joke. Nobody followed.
It was also being reported that Joe Biden had a cold. Yes, they started reporting this midway through the debate. Breaking news, Joe Biden, sources say, had a cold. I actually have it on good authority, though. He was actually just trying to sound smarter, and he was doing his RFK impression.
It was a pretty good impression, man.
Right.
Yeah, nailed it.
It didn't really have the desired effect, though, I imagine.
No.
Did you see the polls there?
RFK Jr. actually knows what he's trying to say and then says it. So he's
Certainly.
He does a better impression of himself than Joe Biden did.
Right.
What happened with the polls?
Well, you know, it's strange. Not a lot of people do RFK impressions. A lot of people do a Biden impression.
Do they really?
The Democratic Party establishment has started taking the idea of replacing Joe Biden more seriously now. Since the reaction to the debate, people who have been floated for the idea include Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Gavin Newsom, and my grandma's Roomba.
Wow!
Did you actually watch the debate?
I did actually watch
You watched the
debate.
entire thing full?
Just about, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I found it very entertaining, like I said. Did you actually watch the debate?
No.
No.
I
You
watched
don't
some-
need to watch the debate to write those jokes.
No, well, we
It
watched
wouldn't
some
have
great
helped you.
clips. I watched the
Would've been a
reaction
waste of time,
to the debate.
yeah.
And actually, I was hosting for a comedy show at the time of the debate.
Well, I was at my band rehearsal, but you can still watch it afterwards. That's the amazing thing about 2024. They have these things called DVRs. Familiar with this?
I think they invented that in 2002.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Also, how old is Carl? We've been streaming for 10 years now.
I think they've been around for a while, actually.
This is an interesting story that I read this week.
Okay.
Ford recalls over 550,000 pickup trucks because transmissions can suddenly downshift to first gear.
That sounds bad.
It was bad, and they're recalling these trucks. There was a result of injuries and lawsuits now. But I don't know. If I know anything about this Boeing story I've heard, I think everybody should just keep their mouths shut.
That's a good point. Especially if it has something to do with the trans in the truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point.
You want to stay PC.
Lastly, of course, we're going to Boston, and a big story right now that just wrapped up in Boston is the Karen Reed verdict. Were you keeping up with the Karen Reed verdict?
A little bit. Yeah, I believe it was a hung jury.
It was a hung jury. No pun intended, of course. It was a bit of there was some deviancy involved in the crime. But, of course, it's about a woman in Boston who drops off her boyfriend, who's a police officer, at a police officer party of some sort. Mm-hmm. And she drives off, gets in a accident at a gas station that's on camera while drunk, goes back, finds her dead boyfriend or something like that. And there's a lot of speculation that the cops sicked a dog on him, beat him up, and then threw him out in the cold.
That's what they do in Boston.
It's too bad. This is more my opinion, of course,
Please.
Speaking from my perspective. But those jurors that thought that she was guilty. You are an idiot! And that was World News with David Collins.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good segment.
It was an interesting story about that Karen Reed, too. I think we could talk about that all day. And I don't feel like enough people have been talking about that story. I feel the same way about that Apple River stabbing.
We should have done more streeties in Boston, I'll admit. And I wanted to, in a way, and I was very nervous, obviously, but it's much different when I'm just with Delicious. I feel very safe with Matt. I have this fear that somebody's just going to sprint from half a block away and I'm not going to see him coming. And they're just going to run by with the tripod and camera and just keep going. And nobody's making it through Matt. But Delicious, I don't know. So it kept us from doing a lot of streeties. We did a lot of filming. I didn't really talk to the public. And a lot of scammers in Boston, too. The people that want to talk to you, you don't really want to talk back.
Today's guest is an economist.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the end of the clip. Little world news, everybody. Here's Troy. Yeah, so this is little world news from when we did the live appearance in the episode from Cosmic Oasis, the coffee shop in Galena, Illinois, now defunct. But we got in there, and I even have some reality show footage of us doing some stand-up there, Todd and I, bombing. And it is terrible. We didn't get that far. I think that was from like September or something. That's brutal. We might have to pull that for the pre-records because that we just like ate shit each to 10 minutes at this coffee shop in front of. Anyway, the episode was much better. Some people have said this is the best produced episode in David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show's discography, which is fine. But it also includes footage from confronting Louis J. Gomez at the Comedy Cabin. So it's a great episode. What is this, episode 51 at the Cosmic Oasis? And here's some world news with Troy. And Todd shows up.
Perfect. And that's that clip. And then we just send it to there and we put it in between.
That's what she said.
And we have a great show planned for you today. A lot of great games, a lot of great guests. But first, before we get into that, everybody's favorite, color of the day. Today's color of the day, honey. Today we're in a coffee shop. Something that's important in a coffee shop is honey. Of course, for teas and coffees, sometimes people want something a little sweet. I also recently, in Dubuque, Iowa, visited the Crystal Lake Caves. In the caves, you see stalagmites, stalactites, and crystal formations. Many are the color of honey.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Very.
One was even called honeycomb. Honey is such a coveted color that there are now honey-colored contact lenses to make your eyes the color of nectar.
Ew.
Made up of 231 red, 154 green, and 63 blue. Today's color of the day, honey.
Beautiful. Honey.
That's a good color.
I love it.
With a month off from the show, there was a lot to talk about to the audience when covering world news with David Collins.
This is our season 3 premiere, too, now that I remember.
They play, a crack kingpin, and Chris Rock's a crackhead in it.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, what we have here, we're going to be talking a little about some world news subjects in a little bit here, and I wanted to kind of cover a few of these stories. Did you think, have you been keeping up with any of the news here? What's the story? There's a lot of stories because we haven't really been talking about anything in the last month.
You know what's funny is a lot of the news that I hear is typically when I'm hanging around with all the comics or I'm watching comedy.
Right.
Yeah, I typically that's the amount that I get. So to be honest with you, sometimes I don't know what's real news and what's fake because it all tends to.
Well, the debate just passed.
Oh yeah,
that was a couple weeks ago now, of course.
Yeah.
This is
a couple
interesting.
Weeks,
A lot of people saying Trump lost that debate. Did you see that?
No, I mean I've heard people talking about it and stuff. I did not watch.
Well, that's
the
what
debate.
they were saying.
Yeah.
You know, Trump barely held it together during the debate. Some might say it wasn't the first time he almost lost his head.
Now would be almost a third, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what people were saying.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
My cousin called me. He said he made it out by the skin of his loaves.
It's a good one. Good one, David.
Well, that's the new writing staff. Jerry used to do a lot of these.
Yeah, nice.
Right. Did you hear the story about Lancaster, California?
No.
There was these two vintage planes that came out, and they crashed into each other.
Oh.
They were crashed into each other. One of the pilots died, of course, but the other pilot actually crash-landed and survived.
That's not.
Witnesses said the pilot
suck.
who survived the unusual crash was able to walk away from the accident, but seemed distressed. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, of course. I bet he would be, right?
Hey, I don't know how pilots stay so calm. If I get a flat tire, I'm more than distressed.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some dramatic stories here, and I'm finding as I'm going through world news here, a lot of these stories for a coffee shop seem a little, tasteless.
Yeah,
for lack of a better word.
I explained it here, but we had this whole segment planned about eating pets.
There was just an accident coming into town here too.
Right. Well, we talked a little about that.
Okay,
there.
cool.
It didn't really make it into world news, unfortunately.
Again, between this and the Boston trip, all today's drive time is going to show is how many times I wimp out of potential moments.
I'm sorry.
Do you have any comment on it? There's an accident, something about a semi and a camper and a hazmat truck.
Yeah, that's
the other bridge. There was a similar accident.
Yeah, we rolled into Dubuque probably as it happened because as we were trying to leave.
You're listening to
David Collins.
30 minutes.
Show with David Collins. Listen at work, at home, or on your device. Stream us now.
Right.
The exact opposite. So,
have you been keeping up on any of these stories about the Springfield, Ohio? The stories about alleged Haitians eating dogs and cats.
Yeah, I heard about the dog eating. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Whatever, dude. Like, it's not anything new, right?
You know, we wanted to do that segment on dogs and cultures that eat dogs, and I thought it'd be good to pull up a Humane Society page, and we could look at the dogs and talk about if the dogs looked appetizing with somebody. Again, well, I am in a way talking to you. I'm fishing you out for this bit because it seems, again, in a coffee shop, these seem like tasteless bits. So we're talking about these Haitians eating dogs. He knows a lot about that.
Yeah, like, I don't know, dude. I don't think it's any new news. Hasn't this been going on around the world for
right? And we actually wanted
ever?
to do a segment today talking about different cultures that eat cats and dogs. Because I always thought this was interesting. I've always wanted to try dog. I'm a big fan of chorizo, the meat. I've always heard dog tastes a lot like chorizo.
I would think so, because I'm sure they eat a lot of dog down in Mexico as well. So
China, South Korea,
and
the Philippines,
South America,
Thailand.
yeah.
You can't blame me for that statement, though. Can you imagine? You know, everybody likes some spicy pork chorizo on nachos or in a taco. If there was just a magical meat called dog that captured spicy pork chorizo with very little work, you can't blame those cultures.
Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Nagaland in northern India. These are all places that eat dog.
And I'm sure the list goes on and on.
China's the biggest consumer of dog meat globally, consuming an estimated 10 million dogs per year.
Yeah, yeah. See, so what's the big deal?
Yeah.
So they're getting authentic Chinese
over in
over in
Ohio. Well, the big deal is that the
Ohio.
dog meat trade involves many of the dogs being stolen off the streets and then brutally slaughtered.
Well, at least it's not their pets, you know?
Well, it might be. They're stolen off the streets.
Yeah.
So it could be people's pets.
Well, it could be someone else's pet. At least it's not their own, right?
Another country that's big for eating dogs there is South Korea. But they recently banned it. On January 9th, 2024, South Korea's National Assembly passed a law that bans the breeding, butchering, distributing, and selling of dog meat. Just like minimum wage, though, I guess they're phasing it over the course of years. So by 2027, it'll be officially banned in South Korea.
That's too bad. They're going to switch to chicken?
Well, I don't think they're switched to anything. I'm not really sure. But it is happening all over there.
That's extraordinary.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, Todd Basinger, man. Can I get a selfie with you afterwards?
Did you hear about this Trump assassination, the second one?
Yeah, it's a golf course.
Right, a golf course. What do you think about that? Do you golf?
I just got back from golfing.
Do you ever look at a golf course and say, where could I hide to shoot a president?
There's not many places to hide at a golf course. Yeah.
Well, I heard that he hid in the bushes for about 14 hours. September 16th, a Hawaiian man was found hiding on the golf course former President Trump was playing on, waiting with a rifle. Secret Service actually ended up shooting 2 or 3 shots at him and had him run away, and then somebody got a picture of his car, and he was pulled over a couple hours later, I think. Something like that.
2 shots under par, right?
2 shots under par. That's a great joke. You should write that down. It's too bad that he didn't have a backup plan, because there was definitely a hole-in-one.
That was good. That was a good one.
Oh, that's all right. Jerry might have given me that one. P. Diddy was on a lot of people's screens this week, but not for a Get Him to the Greek remake or a new music video. Sean Diddy Combs, let out of New York City hotel in handcuffs, was caught on video last week. A lot of people are talking about that, of course. You know, I was surprised. P. Diddy looked really great for 54 years old, especially given all the horrors that he has to sleep with every day.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
He always looks well rested.
Oh, yeah. Well, they say black don't crack. It's really good.
We're talking about the chili here.
Yeah.
What do you think's in there?
I don't care. It's delicious. Cats and dogs. They're eating cats and dogs.
P. Diddy was rejected a $50 million bail by 2 judges due to him being a flight risk. 100 bottles of baby oil were also found in the P. Diddy raid after they raided his home.
That's too much.
And I thought extreme couponing was dead. Hopefully the police were able to confiscate all the oil so these charges can stick.
Good joke. I like that.
That's all right. Perfect. I think I skipped a story earlier. Have you been following this Israel-Hezbollah story at all?
Not at all.
So Israel got in the supply line of these pagers, and then doctors and Hezbollah militants had their pagers explode in Lebanon, and it was this attack on Lebanon. They call it a military attack, but it affected civilians too. It's a bit of a controversy.
Woke DC at it again.
Lebanon. They call it a military attack, but it affected civilians too. It's a bit of a controversy. But boy, gives you a whole definition of getting your blown up, huh? You know, I was just thinking, these conflicts in the Middle East there, it's so hot, instead of these 5,000-pound bombs, we should start sending them air conditioners. They'll just solve everything. They're just too hot over there.
That's why they're so angry all the time.
I've heard of insurgent math. Have you ever heard of heating and cooling math?
I have not. I like that.
I think that's all we have for world news today.
Yeah.
Our next segment, our first game today. Sign the joke.
Right. Well, we're a little late because of the traffic.
Yeah, there was all this traffic on the way here. It was there was a chemical there was a chemical spill on the Wisconsin-Iowa bridge, and the Julian Dubuque bridge had some sort of car accident. So there are thousands of people locked into Dubuque trying to go to either bridge, thinking one of them must be open. So the town was gridlocked. One of the craziest things that you've ever seen. And we had the show, and we were late to doing our live broadcast. Luckily, it all came together. But it was quite an event. Oh, okay, good. We got the blind mic segment. I don't know how much of this we're going to play, but I love it. I think this is one of the first episodes that we did top 10 lists. I love these top 10 lists. I think they're so funny. It's great on the Eric Nagel episode, too, but anytime they make an appearance, it's great. When we did the top 100 list, top 100 episodes on Drive Time David Collins, that was fantastic. I think these top 10 lists are so fun. They're so funny. And Blind Mike get a good kick out of it here. Blind Mike Geary.
I'm not sure. Maybe if you go on stage, you might be able to tell that joke at some point, Mike, if you're scrounging for material. Of course, I do have some material. I'm more of a storyteller, maybe not one of those types of jokes there.
Okay, so I could use that, you're saying?
You could definitely use that if you'd prefer. And a special...
David Collins is more of a tomato throw comedian at this time.
Shout out here. We did get an email here from Kevin Clancy in Massachusetts, who let us know that he got all of the answers correct last week.
It's a very heavily researched show. We don't get enough credit for that.
Massachusetts, who let us know that he got all of the answers correct last week with Anthony Zenhauser as a guest. He got all the answers correct on all of those games that week. So congratulations to Kevin there.
You sure he was in Massachusetts? I know a Kevin Clancy, actually.
Is that right? Maybe it's that same person. You'd be surprised the reach of this show. You know, I'm not even sure what you might be listening to it on right now. It's become such a large show. Why don't we look at number 2 of our top 10 list here of comics with the name Aaron. Aaron from the comic The Walking Dead. Aaron was one of the original residents of Alexandria's safe zone.
I gotta say, I waded through this whole list. That feels a little underwhelming.
Well, of course, it's a famous Aaron there. Aaron was responsible for bringing Rick and his group into Alexandria and developed a close bond with the group, making Aaron one of Rick's most trusted allies. And that's why Aaron from the comic The Walking Dead finds himself at number 2 on David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show list of top 10 comics with the name Aaron.
I feel like you said stand-up comic repeatedly.
Nope, comics with the name Aaron there. We have a new segment. Unfortunately, we don't have a sounder that introduces us to this new segment here, but we have a new segment that we've been going all the way since the beginning of this season, David Collins Star Search. We've had a comedian, we've had a musical act, and this next one is named Delicious from Illinois. I expected a comedy act. Jerry warned me, not exactly a comedy act, but maybe we'll let you be the judge, Mike. Let's take a little listen.
What is up? David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. The second I heard David Collins was doing a Star Search, I was all about it. I'm delicious. I'm just really good at smoking weed. Like just really good at it. And I'm really good at making it, too. So, I'm from all over the place, by the way. I so am in a legal state and always have been. All right. So
we were doing this. I was trying to do this fun Star Search segment where we play like music or a comedy act. I forget another one that we did. I think I set it up that way. Delicious sends in. I say like send in a comedy act, and he sends me like this. I like keep it 60 to 90 seconds or something like that. I forget what time parameters, but something around that was probably. He sends me like this 5-minute clip of him like walking around his place, showing off his stuff. I think the edit's pretty good, but
always have been.
What do you do with it?
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Here, bear with me. All right, we're gonna zoom in on the weed plant. Trimming. You gotta have good scissors, man. I got like 30 pairs of scissors.
Not to mention, like, half of his clip just has Eminem or some other music playing in the background.
And then, obviously, I'm a fan.
Ouch, Delicious loud.
Rick and Morty. And Pokemon Tray. And who the fuck else do you know that has a Pokemon fucking ball grinder, dude? Yeah.
Well, thank you for that submission, Delicious from Illinois. You know, I'm not exactly... It's unfortunate. He did send in more of a visual. If you look it up on YouTube there, we are going to be showing the visual elements that he included. Unfortunately, more of a visual submission. We are generally more of an audio format there, but that was Delicious. What did you think about that?
It's interesting. Why would you choose a visual submission of all weeks this week?
Well, he chose to send that in there, so we wanted to give him his opportunity for his comedy act. And like I said, it's a friend of Jerry's, so we wanted to make sure he got an opportunity there.
Okay. Seems like I'm just saying it seems like you could have done that next week.
Right, maybe just unfortunate timing. That sound means it's time for our second and last game.
I don't know if we play the game on this one. It's a good game though. Maybe we'll play a little of the game. I think I have the rest of this episode recorded, including number 1, which is Aaron Berg. I'm not actually a fan of Aaron Berg, but he's the only comic with the name Aaron, so he got number 1. Let's first round of Paradox, which is a this is a great bit, and I really only included this bit for a little look behind the scenes. This is a joke that Anthony Cumia made of Scorch, saying you could just do. He said, I think you can just do anything. You can just paradox or paradox. Is it a 2 doctors or is it? It's Anthony Cumia's joke, but it is a good game, so we used it.
Hopefully another great game for you there. This game is called Paradox or Paradox. We're going to go over movies and TV shows, and you're going to have to say, is that TV show based on 2 doctors, a pair of docs, or time travel or something that might involve a paradox?
And Blind Mike's close. He understands that it's a Scorch reference or a Scorch game, but it's not a Scorch game. It's
this game from Scorch by any chance?
It's a Cumia joke.
You know, we've actually gone back and forth. He stole my What the F Dude, I realized recently. I'm not sure if we actually steal. I met him last October, incidentally. I'd lost my job in April of 2022, and I had a buddy. I had moved up to Illinois, or up to Iowa here. I have family in this area. My mother was in Iowa City, and I have some friends in Illinois. And one person knew that I was a little beat up. They brought me up to a radio convention up in Wisconsin last October, and I actually had an opportunity to meet Scorch. So it was a very interesting thing. But we did talk a little about some things. You know, maybe some of these are somewhat inspired by Scorch, but it's tough to know. I can definitely give you examples of things that he's using that I had mentioned on that meeting, though.
You borrow from each other, is what you're saying.
And I think that's kind of common throughout the radio industry there.
Certainly, yeah.
Why don't we look at round 1 here of Paradox or Paradox? Round 1, Raising Hope. Raising Hope.
I believe that's a paradox.
Would you like to be more specific?
Oh, maybe I don't know the rules of the game.
Well, is it a pair of doctors or is it a paradox?
Oh, no. A time-traveling paradox. Oh.
I'm sorry. Raising Hope is a pair of docs.
Oh, damn. All right.
Dr. Andrew and Dr. Barney.
All right. Well, a little fun fact about whatever Harmony show that is. We'll go to number 1 and then let it wrap up, because I think there's a couple sound bites in here that I like.
I think that was a better game than the first. I think they were both great games and very well crafted.
Well, that's great to hear. I think that the second game, just like you mentioned, they're probably more getting the calls in. That's something that friend you mentioned is actually kind of known for, getting those calls in. Let's look at number 1 on our top 10 list of comics with the name Aaron. Aaron Berg, originally from Toronto Aaron Berg is currently a New York City comedian. He has
know that
worked on multiple shows with Gas Digital Network and put out his own comedy special, Stands Down. Aaron
All right.
Berg.
Yes, I do know. I know who Aaron Berg is. That's exciting.
Well, that's great. I'm glad we could get somebody familiar on that list there. And that was David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show's top 10 list of comics with the name Aaron.
Aaron Berg must have a tough career path, because I don't think he can just like go up on stage and do Mitch Hedberg one day. He's kind of stuck doing his political tirades. As far as I understand, I haven't watched more than 5 minutes of his stand-up comedy.
Blind Mike, thank you so much for appearing on the show today. Do you have anything else that you want to say to our audience?
This was tremendous. Go to blindmike.net. That's where all my shows are. And thank you for having me, I guess.
And thanks.
That was the soundbite.
Today, do you have anything else that you want to say to our audience?
This was tremendous.
And thanks so much for being.
And then we cut out his plug and used the thanks so much for having me, I guess.
Being here. That's
Anyway.
perfect. Everybody listening, I've been David Collins, and you've been the best.
Yes, you have. You know, if I've said anything truthful throughout my entire life, you have been the best. We had Doug Townsend on. This turned out, we thought we got him early, really. I mean, we got this guy, he's blowing up on Instagram, he's getting into stand-up comedy. He goes to Skankfest, he tells us next year's in New Orleans before anything's announced. We got a bit of an in. Unfortunately, Doug Townsend kind of fell off and blew a gasket. Whatever the case was, he turned into just a Daniel Alvarez that we covered over the next year. But when we had him on the show, it was kind of cool. Catchphrase. And Doug Townsend thought we were cool, which was nice. He paid us a lot of respect. He looked up to us.
Kamhala. Most recently, he's been jumping into the world of stand-up comedy, which is very exciting. Please make some noise for our interesting guest today, Doug Townsend.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
We're really happy to have you on the show today.
Excited.
We want to learn more about you, especially having to do with that Instagram channel that you run there.
Absolutely.
We had one thing that we needed to touch base on right
With thoughts and prayers. Todd has a few.
start.
Oh, excuse me. Todd has a few stories probably with Doug Townsend. He went out a few nights with him. I never really spent more time after any shows or anything with Doug Townsend. Never smoked with him. Todd probably has more Doug Townsend stories.
Some of you might have noticed here, I opened the show mentioning you're appearing today on David Collins' 0-minute half-hour show.
Yeah.
And what happened there, we have a...
I also pulled this clip because I wanted to talk a little about the Gas Cap Criminal. Boy, what a great segment, huh? The Gas Cap Criminal. Remember when he stole the 3?
You know, I received a phone call yesterday. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I received a phone call, and with my history these days, I just record all of my phone calls.
Okay.
Which was good in this case.
Yeah.
A lot of you listening at home here might remember this voice here, but why don't we just take a little listen to this phone call, and that'll probably explain a little bit.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey there. Long time no see.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's me, the gas
You know, it's
cap.
funny. I was just talking about you yesterday on an episode.
Right, Jerry told me you were recording today, so I thought I'd give you a call.
No, we're not recording today. Yesterday we recorded an episode. Then tomorrow we'll be recording with Instagram's Doug Townsend. Right. I'm really looking forward to that.
Why would Jerry tell me Monday?
No, I'm not really too sure why. He hasn't been a part of the team for a few weeks now.
You should know by now why I'd be calling.
But he needs something?
I like how even the Gas Cap Criminal gets frustrated with Jerry.
For a few weeks now.
You should know by now why I'd be calling.
But he needs something? I'm kind of busy for today.
Missing anything?
Oh, no. Pretty sure I have my gas cap. I can see my wallet. My phone's in my hand. Wait. Did you...
That's right. Jerry stole something and brought it to me, and I will be hiding it somewhere in the country for your listeners to find.
Yeah, we kind of need that. It's a part of my branding.
Too bad. I have the 3 from David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, and if you don't want to forever be the 0-minute half-hour show, you better pay attention.
All right, Gas Cap Criminal. I have my pen and paper here. Let's get this over with.
I've driven west. You can find the 3 this week at an important national intersection. Find mile marker 254 on United States Highway 34, then go east. Turning into a farm lane, you will find a brass cross with your 3.
Wait, give me another clue.
Good luck.
So unfortunately, Jerry's pulling another prank on us here. He's gone ahead and stolen the 3 from David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show.
That's terrible.
And hidden it somewhere. You know, we had this issue probably a year ago now. This Gas Cap Criminal, he stole my gas cap. He's hiding it around the country.
He ended up getting a car accident with one of my co-hosts.
Oh.
It's a little dramatic.
Yeah, that's
But now
terrible.
our 3's missing, so if anybody's able to solve that riddle, make sure you email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. Do you think you know where that 3 is?
I have no fucking
National
idea.
intersection, Highway 254. Was it exit 54?
Exit 55.
Something about a farm lane. Well, anyway. So what do you do on Instagram?
So
A little bit
I
of this,
make
just a little.
videos. The main thing I got viral for was product placement. I would take a hot
Like a
chick-
movie?
Yeah. I would take a hot chick, get all the guys, since most of the people that buy cars are male.
Right.
I would basically.
Well, that might mean that you say, oh, maybe I should cater to a female audience. I get them buying cars. That's a whole market.
Yeah, fuck no.
I see.
Yeah, because they normally have terrible credit, and most of the decision makers are males. So I cater to them. So what I do is I get a hot chick, get their eyes on the hot chick, and then I switch it to a car. So now I got full audience.
Right. And you get their
it took
whole
off.
body working in their attraction to the car.
Yep.
Well, that's an interesting way to go about it.
Yep, and it.
So, Chuck Townsend. I don't know what to say. I don't want to bad. You know, he was so good to us too, which is the thing. But he does embody so many things that I hate, especially about content creation. Eric Nagel. This finishes a top 10 list, and then I forgot. Maybe we go over the game. I think this is. Oh yeah, this is just David Collins call-ins and emails. We got some great emails on this episode with Eric Nagel. Another great get. I'm just a fan of Opie and Anthony, so like this was one of the coolest guests for me.
That pisses me off.
Uh-oh, Brody. I warned you. Bit of a cantankerous fella. Always something getting him a little unnerved. What did you think about Brody?
Brody has a lot of contempt for some basic issues that really aren't that big of a deal.
Well, maybe it just comes with time. You know, you learn patience, I guess, with age. Some of those things really get to me. I can certainly relate. Why don't we look at number 3 on our top 10 list here of top 10 lists? Epstein's List. Of course, the list that inspired our segment today. An intriguing list exposing people such as Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and billions of dollars worth of other celebrities. And that's why, of course, Epstein's List finds its way at number 3 on our list today. Are you keeping up with this Epstein list?
I am. I try. It's again, it's another thing like the Jewish tunnels, trying to find a definitive answer of which list is correct, which papers have been redacted and which haven't.
Right.
Who exactly is on that list other than like the top 6 or 7 names that you see all over the news? Where are the other names that they can't confirm it?
And
that's
apparently those
frustrating.
rumors about Stephen Hawking's that I'm not even going to repeat on the show today, but of course they were just made up as well. A lot of rumors coinciding with that Epstein list.
Everybody wants to be no, not everybody wants to be on the list. Everybody wants to put everybody else on that list. Like, I don't like that guy. I don't like that competing show. Let's try to start a rumor that they're on the list.
Well, it might be good for some people if they ended up making it on that list there. Might get a few more search engine results. Why don't we jump into our next segment here?
I would have loved to be on that list.
I'm
Can you
emailing
imagine?
David Collins.
And that sound means, of course, it's time for David Collins call-ins and emails. And we have a couple emails here that I wanted to catch up on, of course, but we had a call in from friend of the show, B-Dude. We actually have a Jamaican correspondent, B-Dude, and he likes to call into the show and give us his update. So why don't we take a little listen and see what B-Dude's got going on this week?
Wagwan, David.
Wagwan.
This is your 2023 David Collins Best Correspondent Award winner, B-Dude. Calling in from the balmy climes of Jamaica, man. Just wanna drop some positive vibes for the new year. The weather down here been rainy some. We call it liquid sunshine. But you know, we're just keeping all the positivity flowing. Me hear about all that snow what Iowa and the US get.
Right.
Me glad me down here in Jamaica, brother. No cold and snow for me. Just warm air, blue sea, and good times keeping everything airy. Happy 2024. Me just wanna keep the good vibes rolling, sharing the positive energy, and making sure everyone have a reason for smile. Life too short not to. Truth, man. Anyway, brother, me wish you and all the listeners a blessed new year. Peace and love to all.
And Happy New Year to you too, B-Dude. What a great, always spreading positivity. He's a big fan of the show, and we're a big fan of you, B-Dude. What did you think about that?
Yeah, he is very positive, and they make good chicken, too, down there.
Is that right? That's interesting. I didn't know that about the Jamaican lifestyle.
Yeah,
we received a great email this week from somebody else. It was Matt O'Daniels. Doesn't say where it's from, but he writes, David.
And it doesn't say where it's from. I say that. I'm not sure. This might be like the first email from Matt O'Daniels. I thought he was more of a long time. Maybe it's just through the year of 2024, excuse me. Yes, 2024. But he ends up winning top fan at the end of this year.
Keep up the good work. Heard you on WATP today. Then went to your Blind Mike ep. Effing amazing. Love it and best wishes, new fan Matt O'Daniels. Well, thanks so much for writing that email in, Matt. That's very sweet.
And he saw me on WATP. I think that was my first WATP appearance in January of 2024. David Collins makes great first impressions. Second impressions, for some reason, never that positive, but he makes great first impressions.
Yeah, the Blind Mike episode was good. I checked out the Cardiff Electric episode, and
oh, wow.
My pal Andy Fiore was on your show too.
Andy Fiore, of course, another radio veteran. I believe he is a program director at SiriusXM. It's always interesting to talk with somebody like him, and he has a great special. Check Right. If anybody's looking for a great comedy special, Andy Fiore, of course, a great comedian. We've also received many emails this week from people looking forward to our live show, so we thought we'd mention that. Thanks so much for those emails, everybody. Our live show currently scheduled for at the Lucky Cat in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, February 9th. Really looking forward to that live show. A lot of special guests to be announced and a part of that show, including our last call-in today. Friend of the show, comedian Austin Ingalls, likes to give us a call and leave us a nice, fun joke every once in a while. So why don't we take a quick listen to Austin Ingalls.
David, Happy New Year. Austin Ingalls here. I just want to give a shout-out to Blind Mike, first and foremost.
Speaking
of, I want to share something that I've been seeing all over the news. All these tunnels are popping up in major cities such as New York City. People are saying it's for trafficking children. I'd be hyped if I was a kid and got kidnapped and taken into the tunnels. Does this mean we're going to meet the Ninja Turtles? And you know what, David? I'm going to give you one more just because it's 2024 and I'm feeling new year, new me.
Eric likes
it. I can't believe it's 2024 and people have an issue with women breastfeeding in public. I'm seeing it all over social media. My mom said the hardest part of breastfeeding me were the looks that people would give her last week. Thanks, David. Keep up the good work.
And thank you, Austin Ingalls. Boy, I don't want to get into this debate on the show, but I might be one of those people that disagrees with Austin on that one. But what did you think about Austin Ingalls? Always not one to shy away from a fun joke.
Yeah, breastfeeding is terrible. I don't want to see it in public, and I don't want to see it on my Instagram. But alas, there we go.
Especially online, I might be with you there. Of course, I'd love to get.
We'll skip the game on this one.
That sound means it's time for.
And then we have some. I have some fun moments coming up here from David Collins' 30-minute hour show. A laptop breaking, New Year's Eve. We're celebrating.
In the dark. We have lights and all kinds
and
of basically what
the wrestling
is
outfit.
Disc golf meets
Here's some great
miniature
clips,
golf
everybody.
meets ginormous frat party.
Meets cosmic bowling.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that sounds a lot of fun.
Trick shots. We got swinging baskets. We got ramps you got to skip off of. There's a wall that you'll run a disc all the way around the corner, and it goes into a basket on the other side. Tunnels, you name it. You think of it. It's crazy.
That sounds great. What was the name of the venue?
The name of the venue up there is Brookfield Sports Complex.
Shout out Brookfield Sports Complex. Well, we have about 50 seconds. We're going to do our own ball drop today. Unfortunately, we don't have a ball, but we can all do the countdown for New Year's Eve, and then people can remember what it's like on New Year's.
Yeah.
Or what it was, the day before when they watch this.
Nice.
So we have some champagne here. We're going to celebrate. I wanted to do a Black Eyed Peas parody song. I wasn't able to get it done. I had it written down, and I just wasn't able to pull it off in time. Somebody's going to need to help me with this. I think I'm going to run out of time. I think, I have the ticking, but they've probably had at least 30 ticks at this point. We're definitely halfway. Any New Year's resolutions?
Actually, I am going
8,
straight carnivore.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody. We're going to get that open. I think I got Dan McCullough in the back doing an impression for this Happy New Year's.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that great? And then they always play this Auld Lang Syne.
Is this a prank, David?
Oh, no, we've seen this before. Yeah, watch out, I have peanut brittle in there.
Snakes will come flying out like that.
A little explosion or something?
Dick in a box.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that'd be good. I should have prepared. I got another bottle of those there for Drive Time David Collins there, too. We'll be drinking champagne at 6 a.m. We're all very much looking forward to that. That's perfect. Is it just a twist off?
Yeah, you want to do it?
All right, let's get it. Be careful. It's not going to shoot off, is it?
You got it.
Thank goodness, too, that Drive Time David Collins, the New Year's episode we did on Drive, same with the Christmas episode before we did on David Collins, because that faggot deleted all of ours as soon as he got a little butter.
Yeah, just
ironically.
It and
it'll be okay?
Aim it not towards me.
I gotta aim it somewhere? We'll put it under the table. That's not very good. Right?
He's like aiming right at me.
All right. Uh-oh. I had it unscrewed for like a full 2 seconds.
That got me.
That was very
That's priceless. That's absolutely priceless.
Uh-oh. Well, Happy New Year's, everybody. Oh, it hit the table.
That was hilarious.
Spreading the news.
Here, pour yourself some champagne.
I jumped a little bit.
That's
during
not
that.
a New Year's
Oh,
song.
I did. I seen it coming and I still jumped.
You know, I have some New Year's resolutions this year, but we have it in an email, so I thought we'd just get into David Collins call-ins and emails.
I don't think we do any of those in this here. We'll just move on to the next
I'm
segment.
emailing David Collins.
Oh, we do. No, we have New Year's resolutions. I apologize.
Our first email here comes in from Tom in Sandy Beach. Cheers. And cheers, David Collins Nation. You know, last year I took a shot live on air. Made David Collins call-ins and emails very difficult. I was coughing on this shot. Chris Scopo was taking a nap. He was our guest. It was pretty difficult. Tom in Sandy Beach, New York. Hey, David. Happy New Year. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? I'm going to try and learn to play the flute. Well, good luck with that, Tom in Sandy Beach. I did have some New Year's resolutions, and I thought I'd just put that together and send it over to myself. Hey there. I'm David Collins, and these are my top 5 New Year's resolutions this coming year of 2025. Number 5, play more pool. I play enough pool as it is, but I actually got a pool table for my birthday this year, so I'm really looking forward to that. Number 4, on my top 5 New Year's resolutions this year, drink less flavored water. I already drink enough regular water, so I think I could drop some of that flavored water. Number 3, to get a physical this year. I haven't seen a doctor in probably 12 years at this point, unless you count that time that I was going to become an Uber driver. Number 2, on my top 5 New Year's resolutions this year, to introduce more extreme sports into my life, like ice skating or rollerblading. And number 1, my most important New Year's resolution this year, to laugh, cry, and think every day.
Nice.
And Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everybody has their own New Year's resolution.
Excuse me, I guess I muted myself. I say something very nice and sappy at the end of this, but I kept pausing it and didn't let it play, so we're not going to suffer through it. But if you want to check out that New Year's episode, I love New Year's. You know, and around Christmas, it's my favorite holiday. It's David Collins' birthday. This is a great segment. This is, of course, the great April Fool's episode with Dan McCullough and Austin Ingalls. It was our first 2-person episode on the show. So we did this great pyramid game that I really like, and then we'll get to the fun segment in the middle of the show and move on to the next one. This is a great episode.
Early episodes, and we liked that. We were thinking about getting a co-host involved, and we may even do that.
One thing I love about David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show is how many locations we've recorded at. So many episodes, you're just in a new space. Sometimes it's a Zoom, unfortunately, but even then, the background, we try to vary.
In the future.
It's exciting.
Now, a lot of people know this about me. I'm a big fan of game shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, we have 2 people on the show. How great if we could play a game that we never can play without somebody. So this isn't, of course, our first game, and we're going to get into that, maybe after we learn a little about what you guys have been up to. But I
Right.
thought, how great. Are you familiar with the $100,000 pyramid? So
Yep.
instead
Sure.
of single words and you having to give 7 words in 30 seconds, we're going to give you 30 seconds to get one phrase across to Austin or Dan McCullough. Now, of course, this says Austin gives the clue, and this says Carson gives the clue. Where it says Carson gives the clue, Dan, that's going to be you giving the clue.
Replaced him.
Okay. And you make sure that you don't use any of the words on top here, and you're going to have to, in 30 seconds, convey the phrase. Who would like to go first? This is a $100,000 pyramid. Does this sound like a fun game?
I'm excited. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Boy, what a great game. So I'm going to hand this to you here. Carson gives the clue. Make
That's
sure
you,
Austin
Dan.
doesn't see. You're going to flip this up, and that's going to be the phrase. So make sure Austin doesn't read
Maybe
that
I'll
there.
look the other way, David. I'll
And
look
he's
that
going
way.
to have to guess. So give it a look. Get it in your head. Think, how am I going to be conveying this over to Austin Ingalls? And when you're ready to start, you're going to make sure you use that word and just try to get it over. What I'm going to start with here, and I'm going to tell the audience, of course, we'll add this a little bit in post here, but I'll tell the audience the phrase is
lot lizards in Austin, Texas.
Okay. So, ladies of the night, trucker style.
Prostitute? Hooker?
Think specifically truckers.
Oh,
What are they called? It's alliterative.
yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a lot lizard.
Yep. And then specifically where to where you're moving.
Austin.
So you got to say the whole
Texas.
phrase.
Lot lizard, Texas. A lot lizard in Texas.
Well, it was very close. I think we're going to have to give it to you. People are going to be emailing me. And if you would have been upset if we didn't give it to them there, make sure you email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com, because the answer was lot lizards in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you did say all the words, maybe not in order, but I think we're going to have to give it to you there.
Job well done.
Is that an
Thank you.
interesting game there?
That
I
is
thought
fun.
we
I
have
love
2
that.
people. We have
Love
one
that
more
game.
round here of, we're going to call it the $100,000 pyramid, but don't get your hopes up.
I really got excited.
This one says
Could definitely use
Austin
that.
gives the clue. So we're going to hand this to you, and you're going to have to soak in at the top exactly what that is. Give it a few thoughts. How would I convey that to somebody? And you got a good lesson. Dan did a great job, so you have a little example of how you go about that.
Good Lord.
Whenever you're ready, let me know, and we'll go ahead and just start that timer. I'll start by giving it to the audience here.
Go ahead.
Another thing I'll say about David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, I think it had a very good time and place. It might have even been kind of late to what we were trying to do with it. I don't think a lot of this like podcasting energy, the parody of the podcast, fits as well today. I think it kind of hit a moment at the end of it.
The phrase,
the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope in Arizona.
Okay, Dan. Where do priests live?
Church.
Specifically, they have
Catholic church?
They have their own like
Sanctuary or
No,
vestibule or
no. It's across the pond.
across the pond. Oh, the Vatican City.
Yep. Nope. Just the what you
The
said.
Vatican?
Yep. We went from rock to cell phones. What is that?
Evolution. Or shit.
that was 30 seconds. I almost thought,
God
for the sake
darn,
of
that's hard.
Kill Tony, maybe I'd give you a minute.
Right.
Because you're going to be going to Austin. Do you plan on performing at Kill Tony?
I would. Yeah, I'm gonna sign up and hopefully get on, David. Yeah, dude, look at that.
We have that sound effect. Now, would you like to reveal what was the answer?
Jeez.
The Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope in Arizona.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
an infrared
I almost
telescope.
can't even say all of that in 30 seconds, David.
Oh, well, you got it out pretty cleanly there. You must speak for a living.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't.
There's so much 20 to 30-year-old workout equipment in this shot.
Sorry, you're good at guessing. I'm bad at it.
No, that one was hard. So
it was.
Advanced technology, I didn't know what the hell to do with
You know,
that.
I have some bad news here.
Yeah.
I had this backup here, and the backup has stopped working. I don't even know why I brought this.
What the hell?
April Fools! This was not even a laptop the whole time.
Oh, David. Oh.
It's another fake laptop.
Oh, my
You have no idea how
God.
many fake laptops I have.
You must have so many of them.
That is insane.
April Fool. You know,
You're
it's
pouring
April.
water
I
on
only
them?
get a couple more opportunities to get these April Fool's pranks. I
That's
really
true.
didn't see your faces. I think I got you.
Damn,
Yeah,
that
you
scared
did. I
me.
thought that was real.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stand up
Ooh,
and
might
punch
have wet
us or
my
something.
pants a little bit, David.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, no time to calm down.
It's such a different life ago. I can't even remember being in that moment.
Parents who like have the aux constantly like plugged into their like
these
car
days, I'm
when
not
they're
sure.
doing-
You know, people don't even know what a nun is.
Here we go. So just another moment, like the laptop break, like New Year's, the shot. This is we had a wrestler in this room, actually, literally in this room. I don't have a camera on. The popcorn is taking place. The popcorn balloon is taking place of the American flag right now. Got a wrestler in here, Casey Jack.
Let alone a radio.
Nah.
I wanted to bring this up here. So, what's your style? We ask people their style of comedy. What do you think your style is as a performer in wrestling? And I wanted to get your commentary here. How do you walk into the ring? Let me ask you that.
I walk into the ring with what
Because I
will
would
say-
walk into the ring here. I would walk in. I put down, first of all, the music is important. What's your walk-on music?
I have two songs because some places, you know, you have to be very careful with copyrights depending on like how their content is produced, so you don't
if
want
they're streaming it.
Yes. So if I have to like keep copyright in mind, I have a close personal friend. His name is Jonathan Carpenter, who was very nice enough to let me use some of his own homegrown music called Sleep Paralysis. So that's what I use for like when I have to keep copyright in mind. It's an EDM style song.
I see.
Other one that I use is called Mewtwo by a gentleman by the name of Cam Steady. Very like hard style, house beat, rap style. Like it's pretty intense. So depending on, again, I kind of go out there and just kind of like do how I'm feeling that day. So sometimes it's very intense. It's very just heavy breathing and very clenched. Or I'm just out there with a shit-eating grin, just like, you people can't.
I see.
Can I swear on the show?
Oh, you can say whatever you'd like.
You
We might
people
bleep it
can't
if it's a little.
fucking touch me.
Right. What do you wear? You know, this is what I.
And I don't want to take away from this moment, but as long as we're here, the era of people that look like Casey Jacks is coming. I have a friend, very close friend, that has that same appearance. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's coming for them.
Just like, you people can't.
I see.
Can I swear on the show?
Oh, you can say whatever you'd like.
You
We might
people
bleep it
can't
if it's a little.
fucking touch me.
Right. What do you wear? You know, this is what I had prepped a little bit here. I said, maybe I should show them what I would look like if I was a wrestler. So I have.
Oh my
I have
god.
a jacket. I think I would leave on the jacket though. I've seen you in some of your promos. You have no shirt. A lot of wrestlers do this though. No shirt, and then they wear a jacket over it. So I might go something like that. But I have. This is my wrestling attire. DC wrestling. What do you think about it?
I love it. Very well done. You draw that yourself?
Right, upside down too.
Upside down is crazy.
And you get on stage and you rip it.
Shout out to my wife for this great wrestling shirt that she tried to cut pre-cuts into.
Upside down is crazy.
And you get on stage and you rip it.
I see the pre-tears going on.
You rip it.
Yeah! Oh, brother!
Whoa. Oh no, you gotta get to the end though, otherwise you look like a real doofus. All right. And now I'm ready for the wrestling match.
Yes.
Do people wrestle in a coat like this? I guess that gives you a disadvantage. They can wrap you around in it.
Yeah, I would take it off. I would take it off.
Oh,
But,
I'm
like,
gonna
you
leave
could-
it on for the show. This is my wrestling promo.
You could take the sunglasses or you could leave the sunglasses and the hat on though in a wrestling match for sure.
Did that have a good sound for the audio listeners? Was that a good rip sound?
Yeah.
Good. That's all we're looking for. It's an audio primarily format. I don't think a lot of people are going to see me like this.
It's a shame.
So a lot of people,
Right. We'll get on to the next one. This is the next one's with Chris Scopo. It's a Christmas episode.
Truly deserved.
As I said before, I love Christmas.
To be Times Person of the Year next year. We had other thoughts.
I had something to say about that Casey Jacks episode, finally, but it totally blew my mind, everybody. All right, happy May 27th. It's 8:40 Eastern. Drive Time, David Collins. Few clips left here. We got Chris Scopo and Christmas. I'm in the live chat, by the way. I don't know if it just hasn't been populating or it's been a pretty slow day today.
And prayers I needed to give out here to friend of the show, KP Burke, who recently had his stand-up special, Escape from Jacksonville, removed from YouTube. It has
What
since been
happened?
re-uploaded on his own YouTube channel. So thoughts and prayers to friend of the show, KP Burke. We had
What
him on the
happened to
show
KP?
about
I
6
know
months ago
KP.
now. Have you not heard about this? He had his special through some sort of license, and they said they sold out and said, we don't need this type of edgy material on our channel. Gave him back the product. He had to re-put it on his own channel, losing about 60,000 views.
That's awful. KP's a good dude. He's
That
not
is
edgy at
too
all.
bad. So everybody, if you're looking for a good comedy special and haven't seen Escape from Jacksonville, thoughts and prayers. Do you have any thoughts and prayers that you'd like to hand out this week?
Let's see. Thoughts and prayers to my ex. She sucks. There you go.
Perfect. Well, we have so much that we need to get into on today's show. I think we're running out of time, but it is our special Christmas episode today, so we wanted to do a small Christmas celebration. First of all, to honor today's and fully make Christmas season official today, we have a nice tree that Jerry had put together. It was very nice. I might have expected a little more, but it's fine. At least we have some sort of tree. So to make it official, Jerry has this little angel here, so we're going to put the angel on the top of the tree.
Can I see Jerry? Is Jerry real?
He just sits behind the camera. He has appeared before, but not in the last few weeks, not since this haircut. He's very embarrassed about it. People keep asking to
Jerry,
see him,
come
though.
on.
It's very
Let me
interesting.
see your hair, Jerry.
Do you have
Let me see your
anything? Would you like to cheers the Christmas season this year with me?
No, I'm good.
What would you like to toast to?
I don't know. Not much right now.
Well, why don't we toast to Merry Christmas and to world peace? I always like to cheers to world peace.
I love this setup, and if we ever do the show again, I'll probably try to recreate this TV guest next to me setup. I tried to do it again in a different location. My apartment is just too hot. My old apartment, I should say, but it's just too hot. I could get into it, but winter, summer, no matter what season, I had no control over the temperature other than opening a window, which they were open 365 days a week because it would always be 100-something degrees in there. When I would edit these episodes, when I exported the episodes, I would have to go hold my laptop in the freezer for 15 minutes in order for things not to collapse because this apartment was so insanely hot for 3 years. So this episode, which lent itself to some of this format too, because you could see over the beginning of an episode to the end of an episode how much I would sweat through a shirt because I would just not wear any clothing the whole time I was living here, basically. But during the episodes, you could just see me, especially the Jake Trumper episode, a few episodes before this one, the season 2, first episode of season 2. I'm just sweating through this entire shirt. By the end of the episode, it's a completely different color. So, but this format's great, and I would have loved to recreate it, but my devices do not record well in here. Everything started failing, so I had to scratch this format after 5 or 6 episodes.
Well, I don't think that's happening right now. I don't know if you've seen the world, but the world's not at peace at all.
All right, Jerry, Chris Scopo, Merry Christmas.
Look at that. Ooh, was that vodka?
Hand to the David Collins 30-minute, half-hour audience. Cheers. Well, that was a great way to celebrate Christmas.
Is that vodka?
Do you have any Christmas traditions?
It's also less than a 300 square foot studio. It's crazy how much footage we got in this space.
I go on Christmas Eve. I go and eat fish on Christmas Eve for the Italians. That's about it.
That's perfect, and you mentioned that earlier. That's great that you're consistent. I'm not sure what we'll do. I usually might just get takeout with my mother. I'm glad that she's out of the hospital. Maybe we'll try that meatball.
What are you doing?
I'm emailing David Collins.
Yeah, that's the end of the Chris Scopo. And then Andy Malfarina, I remember finishing recording this episode before editing it, and we had an open mic. It was a Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. Either way, we went down to a comedy bar, and then before the open mic, I had a drink with Todd Basinger, and I'm sitting at the bar, and I just finished this with Andy Malafarina, and I said, every episode at this, and it's like 30 episodes in, we double this by the end of the run, but every episode I would finish, and I would say, well, I guess that's it. I had nothing. This episode's terrible. I don't know if I'm going to continue booking. Like, it's such a hassle. And then this actually turns out to be my favorite episode, but the reaction that I have after recording is so polar to after editing.
Give me a pine tree. Lamps where the shade doesn't sit right. I've got a bunch of lamps that got crooked shades, okay? It looks like I got robbed, okay? That pisses me off. That's bullshit, and they need to fix it. That pisses me off. Popcorn ceilings. I have a popcorn ceiling.
That was part of the episode for
Pisses
some
me
reason.
off, okay? Can't
Alfarina.
dust it. Otherwise, I have to vacuum again. That pisses me off, okay? Popcorn in general. As a child, I would eat too much popcorn and I would get sick.
Right.
That pisses me off. I should be able to eat as much popcorn as I want.
Well, I'm with him there. I'm a big fan of popcorn myself. What do you think of Brody Toopy? Do you know anybody who's that angry about the littlest things, though?
Yeah, dude. Top to bottom, I get where he's coming from.
Well, that's great. You know, Anthony Zenhauser said he's never met somebody as in an uproar. He said everybody that he knows is very satisfied. So it's good to hear that that was a little more relatable to you. Boy, do we have so much that we need to catch up on this week.
What are you doing? I'm emailing David Collins.
And that, of course, means it's time for David Collins call-ins and emails. And we have a lot of emails that came in. First of all, we got an email from Tanner in Florida. And it's great to hear that you and your wife are both enjoying the show. I'm thinking of starting a landscaping segment that you'd be great for. For right now, consider sending in a talent, Tanner, and we'd love to hear more from you in the future. That was Tanner in Florida. I didn't want to read his email. It was a little revealing, but I felt it was important to respond to him there. A special thank you to Mr. D. Temple for sending us that clip of Blind Mike talking about the show. You can see that on our Instagram, DC 30-Minute Half-Hour Show. We got an email here from friend of the show, Austin Ingalls, who's a great stand-up comedian, and he sent us a new joke this week, and I think it's for the month of November. So let's take a little listen to Austin Ingalls this week.
Hey, David. Austin Ingalls here. Just wanted to catch up on things, see how things were going. Just keep up the great work. This new season's really hitting the spot, David. I can't express enough how proud I am of you. We got a new joke for you here, or just something, kind of mean, but we're gonna have fun with it. Killers of the Flower Moon. Leonardo DiCaprio's new movie is so goddamn good, and his wife in it is so compelling. You can't take your eyes off of her, probably because you keep thinking how good she would look if she lost 20 pounds. That's a mean joke, David, but just like the Indians, I'll take it back eventually. Thank you, David. Happy National Native American Heritage Month. Wow.
And thank you, Austin Ingalls. Happy National Native American Heritage Month right back to you. What a great call-in. What did you think about that joke?
I thought it was very mean.
That's too bad. Do you structure your material in ways that avoid any monthly activities, do you think? Is that kind of where you would avoid targeting there? What was mean about that joke?
I don't know. I don't know, dude. Nah, joke was great. It was the
That's
best joke
great
I've
to
ever
hear.
heard.
You heard it from Andy himself, Austin. A great joke. We also
A
got an
great
email
joke.
this week from Tracy from Ogden, Kansas. So we'll read.
I'm so Austin Ingalls and Josh Francis, and there's going to be others too. These guys will have audiences in 5 years. I hope it's going to be cool to have been around some of those guys, plus some of the guests on the DC show. Robbie Goodwin.
This last email here from Tracy. Hey, David. Big fan of the show. I've been listening to you since KMKF. I was wondering if you heard the new Blink-182 album and what you thought of it. Thanks, David. Keep rocking. And thank you, Tracy. I have not heard the new Blink-182 album. Have you?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It's okay.
That's good. I had to stop. I heard the new Green Day song, and I said, if the Blink-182 album is going to remind me anything like this, I'd rather just not listen.
Yeah, Green Day song was bad too.
That was my take there. We've been doing this reoccurring segment called David Collins Star Search. We've had comedians, we've had a variety, we had a musical act, and this week Jerry and staff Amelia, they had a sketch that they had worked on and they wanted to play for the show. It is somewhat of a visual element, but hopefully you'll be able to get it just from the audio here. Let's take a little listen to Jerry and Amelia's Thanksgiving sketch.
Come on, honey, he didn't mean it. You look fine.
No, he's right. I look like a freak.
It's my brother's house, and he likes to cut the turkey, you know?
It's not just your brother. I'm so embarrassed your family won't even come near me.
I'm sure they'll warm up. Just be careful not to point at anyone.
You know I talk with my hands. I should have just taken the prosthetic. This looks ridiculous. Thanksgiving is stupid anyway.
Come on, honey, don't say that. You love Thanksgiving. It's one of the reasons I married you. You know, it actually looks kind of cool, almost like a pirate.
Do you really mean that?
Of course, okay? My brother said he won't make any more comments. Just come out so we can cut the turkey.
And then, of course, the visual element that everybody on the audio-only platforms will be missing. At the end, he comes out of the bathroom. He's an amputee. He's missing his hands, but instead of prosthetics, he has a turkey carving knife and a fork. What a great reveal and a great sketch. Thanks so much to Jerry and Amelia for working on that and sending it into the...
And I'll say, we spent a good amount of time filming sketches. I got Dan and Todd, Levi, my buddy Nash, Amelia, Jerry, also known as my sister and brother-in-law. We had Robert Wallace got involved. My wife's helped film the sketch. That was before my wife, I guess. So that goes. But the sketches involved so many people. It was such a setup. The amount of things that we filmed and I did nothing with is despicable. Thank goodness we have a couple of sketches out there that involve those people.
Show. I understand that you were not able to get that visual element, but if you picture that turkey and carving fork, it really is a good punchline. Would you agree?
Yeah. After visualizing it, I was like, that was fucking great.
Perfect. And maybe you'll have to check that out on our YouTube once the episode is up there so you can see that. And of course, that sound means it's time for our second and last game. And we have another fun game for you. This is one of my personal favorites. It's not music-oriented, it's comedy-oriented, just for you. Today's game, Finish the Punchline. So we're going to start a joke, we're going to read a joke, and then it's your responsibility to give us the punchline and tell us what that comedian's punchline is. You're going to know who the comedian is, so that's going to give you a bit of a clue. Andy Malafrina, are you ready to play Finish the Punchline?
I'm ready to play, Dave.
Perfect. And you look serious about it, so let's just go ahead and get right into round one. Round one, this joke is by Amy Schumer. Marrying a chef is a little on the nose for me. It's like Snoop blank. Marrying a chef is a little on the nose for me. It's like Snoop blank. What do you think that punchline might be? Amy Schumer.
I don't know. It's like Snoop blank. Marrying a chef's a little on the nose. It's like Snoopy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch Amy Schumer.
Well, that's too bad. You've run out of time there. Marrying a chef is a little on the nose for me. It's like Snoop marrying weed.
Oh, there were more words than just one more. All right.
Right. There's a full punchline here. You're going to want to fill in that punchline. That's all right. Do you like this game?
I love this game, dude.
I'd like to compare it to that first game, Memorizing Music with Malafarina. Which one do you think is your favorite?
That one, but I haven't gotten through this game. This might be my favorite.
That's perfect. Well, maybe we'll turn that attitude around here with round two. Round two today of Finish the Punchline is by Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield. Let's look at the joke. My dog, he started trouble again. I mean, I got a dog. He tries to run the whole house. Like the other night, he started trouble. He went over to the front door. He started to bark. I went over. I opened the front door. The dog didn't want to go out. Blank. I went over and opened the front door. The dog didn't want to go out. Blank.
Oh, it's Rodney Dangerfield. So he probably said, so I went out or something like that. I don't know.
You know, and we've had this issue in so many different episodes and shows that we've done. We just need an answer marker that is somewhere in between. It's not a full yes. It's not a full no. I opened the front door. The dog didn't want to go out. He wanted me to leave. It's pretty close, though. We're going to have to give it to you. I think it was on the way there. That was Rodney Dangerfield, Finish the Punchline. Why don't we look at round 3 here? This is by Zach Galifianakis. Zach Galifianakis. You know it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and blank. You know it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and blank.
Oh, fuck. I don't remember. In blank.
Well, I see the wheels turning there. Andy, do you consider yourself a bit of a joke writer? I didn't ask this earlier. I love to ask people style of comedy. You know, some people are more of a storyteller. Some people tell jokes. Where do you think you are?
I'm in the middle. I kind of like work them out in my head and just chit chat on stage.
Right. Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and look at the end of this punchline. You know it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and blank.
It's something the punchline is something about washing yourself with something that you wouldn't wash yourself with. I don't remember though.
You know it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and dry off with a sneaker.
Great joke.
Drying off. You know, if it was something about drying off, I think we would have given it to you, but it certainly was not a wash joke by any means. Andy Malafarina, thank you so much for coming on today's show. Host of a solo comedy podcast, No More Heroes. I'm certainly up to date on that. Looking forward to the future there. Do you have anything else you want to plug on the show? Anything you want to say to our audience today, Andy?
I just want to say this is probably the best day of my life, Dave. I had a really great time.
Well, that's great to hear. What a great episode. That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Everybody listening, I've been David Collins, and you've been the best.
David Collins. 30 minutes. You know, and again, if I could say anything, you have been the best. Hello, Craig. I don't think the mic's picking it up, but I hear the birds chirping. It's going to be a great day. Happy Wednesday, everybody. May 27th. I think some people might think an episode like this is a bit of a Glory Days episode. You know, it's only in the last few years it kind of fits. It's not like I'm looking at my old speed runs these days. But no, I think I got a big change happening in the next few weeks, and it's time to reflect. Just think back and reminisce for a little bit. And then, you know, you get a lot of things coming ahead. But anyway, it's going to be a great day. I got the day off. Thank goodness. I worked the last Wednesday. I might have worked the last 2 Wednesdays. And that sucks. Wednesdays are my new Sundays. So, have a great Wednesday. And we'll see you about next week. Pre-record's coming June 10th. 6 weeks. They're wild. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Drive safe, drive hard. Hell yeah.